Hi there, it's Mrs. Trombley. We are going to learn about the coordinate plane today. We're in section 1.6 in your textbook. And what is the coordinate plane? Well, it's basically a graph, and it's divided into 4 sections, and those 4 sections are called quadrants. We have an x-axis, which is the horizontal number line, the one that you're used to seeing up across the board. And then we have the y-axis. This is the vertical number line. It's kind of like you're taking your x-axis, the number line you're used to, and just turning it around, and that's your y-axis. And I want you to notice right here, here's 0, and the x-axis when you're heading to the right, we're moving in a positive direction, so that's a positive move. If we're moving to the left, those values are negative, just like the number line. On the y-axis, vertical movement, that's positive. And if you're moving down, negative. So upward vertical movement is positive, downward vertical movement would be negative. All right, we also have directions on how to get to certain places on a coordinate grid or a coordinate plane, and that's what an ordered pair is for. Here I have x comma y in parentheses. This means that the first number in an ordered pair tells me how far right or left to move. Positive would be right, negative would be left. And the second number in the ordered pair tells me how to move on the y-axis. Positive would mean up, negative would mean down. The origin is where you start plotting your points or your ordered pairs. So the origin is right here. It's 0, 0. It's where the x-axis and the y-axis meet. Quadrants, we already said, those are the 4 sections of the coordinate plane. We have quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. And it goes in a counterclockwise order. The way I remember it, because you will need to know which quadrant is which, is just using the letter C. If you were to draw the letter C, you would start here and work your way around, right? That's how you make a C. So where you start is 1, and as you move, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. So just remember C for the order, and C is what coordinate plane starts with, so that should be a nice connection for you. All right, our goal today, not only do I want you to know all this vocabulary, all this means, I want you to be able to write an ordered pair from points given on a graph or a plane or a grid, all kinds of words you can use. And I also want you to be able to plot an ordered pair if I give that to you and tell me where it's located. So we're going to start by writing ordered pairs. That's this first section. It says, write the ordered pair that corresponds to each letter. Corresponds just means the ones that match. So here's A. That means I want you to tell me, how do I get to A from the origin? You're going to give me an ordered pair. Remember that ordered pairs are written x comma y. And on here, just a reminder, it says it right there, but we'll make it larger. This is x. This is y. If you're moving in the direction of, if you're moving right, sorry, couldn't get that out, that's a positive move. If you're moving left, that's a negative. Up, that's a positive. Down, that's a negative. And all your movement starts from 0, 0. So I'm going to go ahead and make my parentheses. And yes, you do need to write them in parentheses. Get used to doing that. So I'm going to start right here at 0, 0. I want to get to A. You have to tell me the x movement first. So from the origin, and each of these lines counts as 1. So once you start moving, that counts as 1. So right here, I'm at 0. I haven't moved yet. When I get here, that's 1, 2, 3. So I see I have to go 3 to the right in order to get below that A. That means the first number in my ordered pair is a positive 3. Now, vertical movement to get to A, from here, I have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice I didn't count this as 1. You don't count until you actually move. Because if you were standing right here and I said, how many steps have you taken? You wouldn't say 1. You wouldn't say 1 until you actually move. So again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And because we're moving up, that's positive. All right, let's try B. And if you wanted to pause me right now, if you think, oh, I've got the gist of this, I learned how to do this a long time ago, go ahead and press pause, fill these out, and then come back and make sure that you're right. Welcome back. Okay, from 0, 0 to get to B, x-axis first, we have to hop 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left in order to get underneath that B. 4 left is going to mean a negative 4. Then vertical movement, I have to go up 1, so positive 1. All right, here's C. Go back to 0, 0. In order to get above the C, I have to go left 2. That means negative 2. And I have to go down 1, 2, 3, which would make that a negative 3. You can't write negative 3, negative 2 either. It has to go X then Y in an ordered pair. All right, here's D all the way over here. Go back to the origin. I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. That makes it a positive 5. And then down 1, 2, 3 to get to D. All right, E is right here. The horizontal movement to get to E, I have to go right 2. Do you have to move up or down to get to E? No, we don't move at all. So if you don't move at all, I call that a 0. So this is 2, 0. We go over 2 and then up or down 0. F right here, if you start at the origin, do you have to move right or left to be below the F? No, we didn't have to move on the x-axis. So I'm going to put a 0 there because we didn't have to move. We do have to go up 1, 2, 3 though. So if it's on the x-axis, like E, you're going to have the y as 0. If it's on the y-axis, the x is going to be 0. All right, so that's how you plot an ordered pair. Next, I want you to, I'm sorry, that's not how you plot an ordered pair. That's how you write the ordered pair that matches. Now we want to be able to plot an ordered pair. So I'm going to give you the ordered pair, and it's your job to put it on the coordinate grid, on the coordinate plane. Then the second part says to describe the location of each point. Location just means which quadrant. That's what I mean by location. There is a nice little shortcut to describing which quadrant. Here I give you nice little friendly numbers, but let's say I gave you negative 87, 42. You don't want to actually have to graph that, okay? But there are patterns that will help you. So jump back up here for 1 second. If you look at A, and first off, just remember the quadrants. If I'm making the letter C, this is quadrant 1. This is quadrant 2. Notice I'm using Roman numerals. You're supposed to. Just do it. Make like Nike and just do it. And then this is quadrant 4, so I, B. You can use a Q instead of writing out that whole word quadrant. I'll be nice about that. So we just made the letter C to know the order. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you are in quadrant 1, to get into quadrant 1, you have to go right and then up. That means that an ordered pair that's positive and positive. So right means a positive movement, up means a positive movement. Positive numbers are going to be in quadrant 1. So A right here, positive 3, positive 4, that's in quadrant 1. To get into quadrant 2, you have to go left on the x-axis, which is a negative move, and you have to go up on the y-axis, which is a positive move. And notice for B, it's negative, positive. All ordered pairs in quadrant 2 will be negative, then positive. If you're in quadrant 3, like C is, that's a negative, negative. To get into C, you'll always have to go left and then down. It looks like C is sleepy, doesn't it? Shh. All right. Anyway, now to get into quadrant 4, you'll have to go right on the x-axis and then down to get in there, just like letter D, positive, then negative. So that's kind of the pattern. Positive, positive, I know it's quadrant 1. Negative, positive is quadrant 2. Negative, negative is 3. And positive, negative is 4. Just a nice little shortcut for you. Okay, so let's get on to plotting these ordered pairs. First, let's plot M. Point M is at negative 4, 2. And remember, this first number tells me my X movement. The second number tells me my Y movement. Right is positive, left is negative, up is positive, down is negative. So negative 4, 2, start at 0, 0. That first number being negative 4 means on the x-axis, I go left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now from there, that positive 2 as a y means I go up 2. So there's M. Please put the letter next to the dot, otherwise you'll have like 6 dots on there and I won't know what's what. All right, next we have A, which is 3, negative 2. So go back to 0, 0. That first number tells me my X movement. It's a positive 3, so 1, 2, 3 on the x-axis. Negative 2 means that I go down 2 on the y-axis. So there's my A. T is 4, 3. So go back to 0, 0. That first number, positive 4, means right 4. That second number, positive 3, means up 3. Then H, go back to 0, 0. Negative 1 means left 1. Negative 5 means down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, that spells math. I wonder if Mrs. Trombley did that on purpose. Of course I did. All right, letter I is at 0, negative 4. So that first number being 0 means I don't move right or left. I'm going to stay put. Negative 4 means down. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's I. And S is negative 4, 0. So opposite of that. Negative 4, 0 means that on my x-axis, I'm going to go left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. When y is 0, that means I don't move up or down. I stay put where I'm at. So this spells math is. You can fill in the blank. For me, math is awesome, but I don't know. Maybe for you it's even better than awesome. Anywho, we're not done yet. I know, it seems like we should be, but we have one last thing to do. We're supposed to describe the location of each point. Tell me which quadrant. So again, if I'm making a big C, this is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, this is quadrant 4. So the first one, it's a negative 4, positive 2. Here's my M. That's in quadrant 2. Negative, positive means quadrant 2. Here's A. A is in quadrant 4. So QIB. And we know in quadrant 4, positive, negative is quadrant 4, so that works. T is right here where it's positive, positive. That makes it quadrant 1. Here's H. H is in quadrant 3. And negative, negative means quadrant 3. Okay, letter I. Here's I. Is I in quadrant 3 or is it in quadrant 4? The answer is neither. It's not in a quadrant, right? It's not in here. It's right on the line. When it's right on the line, that means it's located on an axis. Which axis? Well, it's located on this vertical axis, which is called the y-axis. So the location of this would be on the y-axis. The point S, I wouldn't say that's in quadrant 2, and I wouldn't say it's in quadrant 3. I would Johnny Cash it and say it's on the line. Maybe your parents will get that one. There's a song. I don't know that I would play it, but anyhow, walking the line. S is walking the line. And which line is it walking? It's walking the horizontal line. And that horizontal axis is your x-axis. So go ahead and write down x-axis. And now, yes, you are done for the day. See you later.